Okay, perfect. So I just want you to start with your story. I know I kind of gave you a little heads up of what we're going to talk about tonight, but start with your story. Fill us in. We've been so excited to hear from you. This is one of my really good friends, you guys, Katie Duke, and she lives in Alabama. And I've just gotten the pleasure to get to know you over the last few years. It's been so nice. And I've been telling Katie for a while, like, you got to come do a team Zoom. You got to come do a team Zoom. So I'm glad that you finally took the time tonight to do this for us. Go ahead.
For sure. I'm a little out of breath. Like I said, I ran in from the house, and then as soon as I walked in, the baby woke up. So she's sick, so it's just a mess. But obviously, I'm Katie. I've been with the business for 3 years now. I am a triple diamond, which sounds so crazy to me. But like I said, I joined 3 years ago. I had just gotten married, and me and my husband wanted to start a family, or more like I wanted to start a family really fast and talked him into it. We got pregnant very early on, but unfortunately we had an early miscarriage. And I literally thought our world was over. Like, I just thought something was wrong with me, and it was just heartbreaking for me. I've always envisioned me having a really big family, and I am also a teen mom. I actually got pregnant with my son at 15 and had him at 16, and he completely transformed my life, and he made me who I am and just straightened up my life so much. And so ever since I had him really young, like, I just always knew when I got married, I wanted to have a really big family. And when we had that miscarriage, it just felt like a slap in the face. And so we decided to like go to a fertility doctor and just, make sure we were all good. Check Brandon, check me before we tried to have another baby. And so we went and they did some blood work, and a lot of things came back for both of us. And they said they could definitely take us on as clients, but it's going to be at least $2,000, but probably close to $7,000 to get started. And this is paying up front. This is not financing. This is not billing you. This is, you need to come with cash in your hand. And I looked at Brandon and I was just like, dude, like, what, are they serious? Are they serious that way? Like, that's how I felt, you guys. I was working a full-time job. I had went to college. I was an occupational therapy assistant. I was making pretty good money, okay? My husband was working full-time, but at the end of the day, we did not have thousands saved up. Like, to me, it's crazy now looking back on it that people I know that are outside of network marketing, that's the norm, is to work all day long for someone else. And at the end of the day, you don't have money in your account for your needs. That was me. And so I started looking at weekend jobs. I thought about working at nursing homes, doing some home health, and it was just getting me down. Like, I could not imagine myself working 7 days a week. My son was playing ball at the time. He had games every weekend. But like, I just couldn't solve this problem. Like, I knew I needed the extra money, but I didn't want to be working 7 days a week. And I was just like, what am I going to do? And it was such a God thing. I randomly saw this girl's post on Facebook about how she was making money from her phone and that there was these bonuses, and there was $1,000 Ruby bonus. I just looked at Brandon. I was like, dude, that $1,000 can go straight towards our fertility. And he was like, hey, that's a pyramid scheme. And I was like, but what if it's not? And he was like, it's a pyramid scheme. You're going to lose money. You're not going to make any money. Like, no. And I was like, okay. So I started looking at jobs again. And y'all, every night I would come home and it would be on my phone. Creep on her 20 times a day. I would see everything she posts. I knew the time she joined all the way now. That's how hard I creeped on her. And finally, I looked at Brandon one night and I was like, babe. And he was like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to join. It works. It works. I was like, if I fail, if it's a pyramid scheme, like, you can look at me and you can tell me you told me so. I said, but I have to try. I have to try. And so I used my credit card to sign up because that's how if I was. And I joined, and I saw that $1,000 bonus, you guys, for going Ruby at the time, and only had, I don't know, less than a month to get it before bonuses expired. So in my head, I was like, I don't know what Ruby is, but I know I got to do it. And so y'all, like I said, I was working full time. I would wake up so early. Like, usually I'd wake up like 7 to go to work, but I was waking up at 4:30 or 5 to send out messages. I would stay up as late as I could till my eyeballs couldn't work anymore. I forgot to mention, before this company, I was such an introvert. No confidence at all. Like I said, I grew up broke. I grew up as a teen mom. Like, the confidence wasn't there, okay? But I was doing rap parties, and I was shaking. I was sweating, but I knew I had to get those customers. I knew I had to get those DTs. And so I even put myself out there. I was doing multiple wrap parties a week. And you guys, I hit Ruby before month in, my very first month. Okay. So it changed my life so quickly. I got that $1,000 bonus. And on top of that, Ruby was 5 people then. So I got $500 just in that and cabs. But I had almost built to Emerald, or maybe past Emerald, by placing DTs. And so, guys, it wasn't just my commission check. It was $1,000, my commission check, probably, I'm not even kidding, 12 plus cabs. So within my first month, money was slinging towards me. And I was like, what is going on? And it was so much fun. And so the bonuses were supposed to be over. And the first day of the next month, Mark Pentecost, who I didn't even know his last name at the time, got on and he was like, we're extending the bonuses, double bonuses. I was like, what's that mean? And at the time, what that meant was there was a $20,000 diamond bonus. And I was looking at it and I was like, if I can build to Ruby, why the hell can I not build to diamond? And so, y'all, I started putting it out there. I was like, I'm going diamond. I'm going to earn a $20,000 bonus, because I hadn't barely been in over a month. And I was shouting to the rooftop that I was going to go diamond. And I remember when I made my first post about going diamond, like I was shaking, because I'm from a small town. I was like, so many people are going to judge me. So many people are going to talk bad about me. What if I don't hit it? Everybody makes fun of me. But y'all, there was just something speaking to my soul so much at this time. And I know it was God, and we're going to get to it. But like God would say, do it anyways. Be scared and do it anyways. Put your goals out there. And so I wrote it everywhere. I was going to go diamond. I had no idea how in the world I was going to make it happen. But I was doing parties. I was messaging, parties, working my butt off to where, like, if I had my phone in my hand, I was working. If I wasn't like literally physically feeding or bathing my child, I was working. Ended up going diamond my second month. My husband went emerald, so we got tons of bonuses. Like I said, just changed my life really fast, plus tons of cabs. Like, it was just insane momentum, insane life-changing income, honestly, for a girl who literally had to put $99 on a credit card. So anyways, we were able to actually do our fertility. We were able to take cash up there and do it. And it was so exciting. And then it failed. And I was like, bummed. And I was like, another slap in the face. Like, I thought God had brought me this company to do this fertility, and then it didn't work. And I was like, I don't know what he's telling me to do, but like, I'm so passionate about this company. I was meeting women that were passionate and Christian and just making me better. I was like, I'm going to focus on my business for a while. Like, this is amazing. So we started working towards double. And about a month or two later, I started feeling weird. My boobs got sore. I was nauseous. I was like, something's not right. Something's not right here. Took a pregnancy test and popped out pregnant. So we went to the doctor, and as soon as she put the ultrasound little machine thing on me, it was obvious that it was more than one baby. And I looked at her. It looked like 3. And I said, is that one baby? And she said, I said, how many? And she said, there's definitely 2, maybe more. And I was like, turns out it was just 2. It was just 2. But I remember just being on cloud 9, you guys, and I feel like most people, if they would have got the news that they were getting twins, would really be freaking out, because babies are expensive. 2 babies, like, crazy expensive, okay? But like, I just knew in my heart, I was like, I'm good. Like, we're great. That's why God brought me this company. And so we were chilling, just growing 2 babies. I was getting big as a cow. And we went to one of my ultrasound appointments, and they told me I needed to be on bed rest because one of the sacs had started tearing. Basically, like, I needed to be on full bed rest. So as a therapist, I was still working full time. As a therapist, how it works is I got paid for billable hours. So I got paid for the patients that I saw, period. No salary, nothing like that. So to be put on bed rest, my check was gone. And like, I remember just praising and thanking God, like, that he brought this company in my life and that we were getting that income, because we would have lost everything. And like, just to imagine like not having income, but then being pregnant with twins, like, I could not imagine the stress. But because this business, we were paying our bills, and it was just amazing. I was on bed rest, working, and it was, everything seemed okay. And then I'm going to try not to cry, you guys. It happens. And I'm sorry. I'm just going to let y'all know in advance. So 6 months in, we went in for the anatomy scan, and They found out that I was in a lot of pain, and they checked me, and basically I was in labor, like full blown labor at 6 months pregnant with the boys. They were both boys. We named them Sebastian and Thatcher, Thatch and Bash. And anyways, at 6 months, we went in and they were like, you're in labor. And so all they could do was do an emergency surgery on me, and I had to stay in the hospital. But when they did the emergency surgery they basically were trying to close me up. I don't know. It broke my water. And so that was full on labor. They were giving me shots. They were giving me IVs. They were giving me oral medications, everything to try to keep these babies in as long as possible and stop my labor. I think I was in there for 3 weeks, up and down, labor, delivery, down, labor and delivery. Like, they kept thinking I was going to deliver and then I wouldn't. But then finally, after 3 weeks, my body it couldn't stop. And so I delivered both of my boys. So Thatcher came first, and he lived for an hour, and then Sebastian came and he lived for 4 hours. NICU tried everything, but they were just too small. And so obviously, you guys, it was a really tough time for me. Like, I held these babies in my arms. I had planned their funeral. I had to bury them. I mean, they looked like any normal baby. They were just small. And so I went through this deep depression. But one thing I will say is, like, I feel like that's why God truly brought this business in my life, because I wouldn't be able to work. Like, I was in so much depression. And not only that, a week after I lost them, I was almost septic, just due to labor. Like, I got a really bad infection, and I had 104 fever, and went to the hospital, and they told me I was basically septic, and I was in the hospital for 2 weeks fighting for my life. But because this business and what we have, residual income, you guys, my bills are being paid. My husband had never paid our bills. I had always paid our bills, but he was trying, and we were getting income, so it was okay. But we were taken care of during the toughest part in our lives. And that's one thing. I will stop my story. I'm about to end my story. I'll get there. But one thing I want to tell each and every one of you, like, you have a desire in your heart to be here, and you don't have any clue what it is going to be, like why God brought you here. So it is up to you to show up and put in the work, because he put that desire in your heart for a reason. And you don't know if that's because you're going to be pregnant with 5 kids next month, or if something terrible is going to happen to you and you need that extra income. And I swear I'm so proud of myself for following that desire when I was terrified of network marketing and I was terrified of people's opinions. But that desire was so strong, and God placed it there because he knew what I'd be going through, months down the line. And he's like, I got you. I'm taking care of you. But anyway, so that happened. And I grieved and grieved. And because this company, I was allowed to grieve, and I was allowed not to have to go back to work and just try to be a normal human, when honestly I didn't want to do anything. And then one day everything changed. I remember my child walked in, and I got snappy to him, and I never do that. Like, I'm a mama bear. Like, he gets anything he wants. And I snapped on him, and I just remember thinking, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to be this person. I'm not going to be a victim. Bad things happen, and it sucks. And there's nothing I can do to change it, but I'm not going to go another day not being grateful for the things that I do have. And at the time, that was my son, that was my husband, that was my family, that was this business. And so I got my ass up, you guys, and I got to work. And a couple months later, I went double, and we decided to try IVF. If y'all know anything about IVF, it's even more expensive than normal fertility because this business, so I went double, my husband went diamond. We were able to pay for IVF in cash, and it's such a blessing. I'm in tons of IVF groups. These moms are taking out loans. These moms are getting multiple jobs, and I didn't have to do any of that. It's because of this business. My husband decided he wanted to move to the beach. Boom. We just moved to the beach because of this business. I retired from my job. My husband retired from my job. Last December, we had started talking about doing IVF again. I forgot to say we did IVF and it failed. So that was fun. But last December, we had started talking about doing IVF again. And I don't know, guys, like something was not right stirring inside of me. I was like, I just can't do it right now. I don't know why. The anxiety's high. But we decided to go home to Arkansas to see my family. And when I got there, a family member of mine had just had a little girl. And her and the baby both tested positive for meth. And they were about to take the baby to DHS. Like, this is a big ordeal. But they knew, I guess, that I had been praying for a baby and looking, just wanting a baby so much that they called me and they said, do you want this baby? You have 24 hours to decide. And you guys, because of this business, I literally got to say yes without worrying about daycare, without worrying about anything. We went and bought a crib. We went and bought clothes. We went and bought diapers. We went and bought formula, literally in one day. Like, that is not something I would have ever been able to do without this business ever in my life. And I didn't even have to look at my bank account before I did it. Okay. So we brought her home, and every day I get to be home with her. She's the biggest blessing. She'll be a year old on Friday. I've had her since she's 4 days old. And whenever I got her, like I said, I had her since she's 4 days old. I worked my ass off. She was getting up every 2 hours. So I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be up feeding her, I'm going to be working. And I literally got her in December, and in February I went triple diamond. And I say it's because of her, because she kept me up all night. I was like, I'm just gonna work. But yeah, she definitely got me to triple diamond, and that's where I'm at now. We're pushing towards press. We just signed on a beautiful home last month. It's a brand new home, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. Something I would never thought I would be living in. I grew up in a trailer. I grew up so poor. I cannot tell y'all how poor I grew up. So just living this kind of life is something I never thought would be possible for me. But just through this company that God brought me to, and all these amazing women pushing me every day, and me growing myself and just pushing myself out of limit, it has just blessed us more than I can even tell y'all. Like, there's so much more I could tell y'all, but it would take all night. It has blessed me. It has blessed me. So that's my story.
That's so amazing. I don't even know where to start. Like, you just make my heart hurt, but so happy at the same time. Like, I can remember last year, like, hopefully you don't mind me sharing this, but like, I remember when we were at our retreat last year, we kind of got into a conversation about whether there was anybody in the room that would carry like Katie's baby. And then I remember hearing that and like knowing your story. And then December rolled around and you put in our Diamonds chat, like, y'all, I'm getting a baby. I'm going to buy all these things for this baby. And I was like, what? You're getting a baby? Like, everybody was in shock. And like, it was just such a blessing. And it's been such an incredible year for you. And the fact that like all of this is happening in your life and you're still working your business. Like, you just adopted a child, like all the things that are happening, and you went triple diamond.
That's crazy.
Insane. Like, I'm so proud of you, and like, you know what you're doing and you're in the right place, and that just makes me so happy. So thank you for sharing that, for being so vulnerable and just being real with us. Like, I know we all have our struggles, and what a lot of us don't realize is that there's people out there with worse situations than us, and today might seem like a hard day, but like, you need to wake up tomorrow and you need to get to work and do twice the amount of work, because this business is going to pay off as long as you work for it. And you're just a prime example of that. So
Yeah, I'll share something like going off on you real quick if you don't mind. I actually went live today in my team page, and I was talking about how, you know, sometimes when life does happen, how it's easy to be like, well, you want to put your business on the back burner because you have so much going on. But like, if we're real with ourselves and we put the BS aside, when is there not something going on? Like, seriously, you guys, like, something's always going on. You cannot put your business on the back burner. Like, you have to be so consistent. And in fact, if you do that, the only thing you're doing is getting yourself further away from your goals, and you're creating bad habits. So it's like, Ashley Mayfield said, you know, she was talking about, someone asked her, I'm going through this bad depression. Like, what do I do? How do I work my business? And you're depressed. Do you still go to the bathroom? The girl's like, yeah. She's like, do you wipe your butt? And she was like, yeah. She's like, do you brush your teeth? And she's like, yeah. She's like, those are things you do no matter what, like no matter how bad things get. She's like, it should be the same with this business. Now, you might run it differently. You might not, you know, put the happy statuses, but you might be real and vulnerable, you know, but like, you need to be working your business no matter what. And it's the people who do that that get to the places where other people envy. I know I have tons of team members who honestly, they don't put in the work, and I have tons that do, but the ones that don't put in the work are looking at my team that are diamonds and above and going, oh, I wish I could be there. But they're not putting in the sacrifices. They're not putting in the consistency. You know, on the days where you want to watch Netflix all day, like, I have those days. On the days where you just want to sleep all day, I have those days. But like, you just have to get up and work and just be consistent. This is like wiping your butt. You just do it every day, you know?
yeah, that's right. You do it and you don't think about it. Like, that's what we got to do when it comes to this business. Yeah, that's so good. Such a good example. So tell us, like, coming from the life of a busy mom with 2 kids and a husband and a house that you own now, like, what does your schedule look like on a day-to-day basis? Because I know we're all kind of in different situations and we all have our own types of busy, but like we were saying, you got to get the work done still. So what's it look like for you, your schedule?
So for me, I mean, the thing is, it might be different for everyone. Everyone just functions so differently. And I've tried schedules and I've tried different things. But honestly, for me, it's just like I have to fit this wherever I can now. Like with her, she's almost a year old and she's running around. And I used to be able to just put her in a little jumper while I worked on Zoom with my team. But now I can't do that because she won't be in a jumper and she screams. So it gets harder. But like you just have to find what works for you. So for me, it's like, you know, when she's down for her nap, lucky for me, she'll take a 2 to 3 hour nap in the morning. Like, I know that's my time to really dive in. And so I'll jump in my team page and I'll share something in my team page. I'll get in my chats. It's like really when I kind of focus on my team and I like reply back to my messages. And then later on, she takes another nap and it's usually about an hour. And that's usually when I make my posts or my stories. And I have a lot of things saved. Like for my posts, guys, I save all of my posts. In my team page, I have something that's called like distributor posts. And if I ever make a post that I like, I literally just comment it there. And so I don't have to like day make a heartfelt post because I have them all saved. That's something that saves me time and effort. Same thing with stories. I keep them saved in my Over app, so it's super simple. But for me, I just don't have a schedule, you guys. I just know like I don't want to go to bed not feeling proud of myself. Because I know like, I mean, I know everyone has felt that before in this business where, you know, you might be on day 2 knowing that you didn't put your all in your business. And that's a crappy feeling when you get to the end of the month and then you missed your promotion by 500 or 1,000. When I was trying to go pres, the month after I went triple, I missed presidential by less than 5,000, which kind of sounds like a lot. But when you think about overall group volume for pres, you need 100,000, and I missed it by less than 5,000. And if I'm going to be real with you guys, because I was just on that high of going triple, my first week of that month, I kind of just sat back and was like, I hit triple. Like I wasn't working. And then I got to the end of the month and I missed it by less than 5,000. And I was like, what would a week done? You know, maybe I could have put in all 5,000, but I could have been there every day, like making sure my team was on Zoom with me, like putting in the work, you know? So like, I think it's just every day for me, like going to bed, like knowing that I'm proud of myself, knowing that I made potentials, I followed up, I put out my story, you know, just putting out that consistency. So that's how it is for me. But I mean, some people do thrive on schedules, but for me, I've never been a schedule person. So I just do what I can and I go to bed happy.
That's awesome. Sorry, my computer's dying.
No, girl, you're fine. You look like Christmas, Caitlin.
Yeah,
Make me happy.
It's fine. It's really good.
I love it.
Yeah, so no, that's really good. And I mean, a lot of people struggle to find balance, but that's actually something that you'll hear quite often is that there's no such thing as balance. Like my schedule changes all the time. It really does. I mean, you can have a 6 list, which means things that like they're your non-negotiables that you have to get done every single day in order to move forward in your business. It's the things that everybody does to help you become successful. So yes, you can have that, but like as far as I guess the timing that you fit everything in just depends on your life. Like someone like me who has pretty normal life, no kids, like I could technically have the same schedule all the time, but my family still comes out that I randomly have to make time for. There's always something. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Now, how about like self-development? What are you like? What does that look like for you? Like, what's your like go-to? Do you like to listen to songs, read books? What kind of things do you have in mind?
So it's funny because I always feel bad about not reading books because I know if I read books, like I'd be on a whole nother level. And I do have books, but with her and just, it's just hard for me to sit down and read a book, which I know like me saying that, I'm going to be honest, like that's an excuse. Like I could wake up earlier and I could read my book. Like I'm going to be real with y'all. That's an excuse. But for me, I thrive off YouTube. And I think it's so silly that people don't use it because it's a free tool. Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Mel Robbins. Like I love those people. Oh, what's the other guy's name? I listen to him all the time. He's like, is he Indian? Yes, Gary Vee. I love him. And it's funny because I actually listen to it so much that my son knows their names. Like, and that's what I love. Like, because when we're in the car, I got Tony Robbins on, okay? And so, like, he knows some of his favorite videos, and like, he'll even ask for it. And there's a YouTube channel called Fearless Motivation. That's my son's favorite because they're like pumped. Like, they're the ones who will get you pumped in the mornings. But honestly, Tony Robbins, and I can always find a new Tony Robbins one. I'm obsessed with him. Um, what's her name? Ooh, Denise Wash's Dream Journal. If y'all know who Denise Wash is, she's a black diamond in the company, which means she makes over $100,000 a month for 6 months in a row, at least, to hit that rank. But she has some podcasts that are super amazing. And she's got this book that's called The Dream Journal. And for a while, I really did that. And I kind of got off of it, but she went live in my page yesterday, my team page, and she got me so pumped up again that yesterday I was like, I'm getting that book out, but I have to find it because it's still in boxes. But I was like, I'm getting that book back out because when I was doing that consistently, and it's not even a book, it's a journal, and it like walks you through affirmations. Do you have it, Kaylin? Oh God, you need it, and it's super cheap on Amazon.
I've heard her talk about it so much, but no, I don't. But I used to listen to her podcast all the time. That's the
Yes, I love her podcast, and I actually do a lot of my leadership stuff off of her stuff. Like, I'll find something really good, and then every week I have like a leadership Zoom, and so I'll share some of her stuff. But I have like, it's a journal, and it walks you through like affirmations of the day, prayers of the day, goals of the day, things you're grateful for. And like, it's almost the same thing every day, but the more you do it, I don't know, the more you realize it. It's like your brain is a muscle. And through self-development, like, you're making it stronger. And that's one thing people look at me like, you've been through so much stuff and you're so positive. And I'm like, dude, that would have never happened with old Katie. This Katie can deal with it because this Katie has done so much self-development that like when the bad times come, like, I'm prepared. That muscle is strong. And that's the importance of self-development. I feel like, you know, when people say rude things to me, like about network marketing, it literally doesn't faze me because I'm so confident in what I do. You know, I've seen how this business changes my life. I've seen how it changes others. And like, they just can't say anything to me to pull me down. And that's self-development, you guys. And like I said before, I was shy. Self-development is what has made me like bring out the confidence. And on that, like, my son's into arts. And tonight he went to his first voice lesson. And because of it works, I got to pay for that in cash, $300. Okay. But he went to his first voice lesson and he was so nervous on the way there. So anyways, like, I figured out what his problem was. I got my YouTube out because that's my favorite place to find self-development. And on the way there, I typed in Tony Robbins confidence. Boom, 20 videos popped up, and me and him listened to that self-development on the way to little his little voice lesson. So, I mean, I just love it because you can type in anything that you're dealing with. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's you feeling not worthy. Maybe it's your consistency. You can literally just type in those words, like, and self-development behind it, and you can find anything for you. So, like, that's me. I know some people read. I know some people journal. And I actually said I do want to start journaling in 2020. Like, that's one of my big goals because I don't do that. But I sound like a broken record. But YouTube, like, I listen to YouTube probably 30 to 40% of my day. Like, and it's just different stuff. And I find new stuff every day. There was a girl I just found yesterday, and her name's like Abraham Milks. I don't know. I'll have to look on my history, but like, she's new. I just found her. So now I'm super excited because she's got tons. And I actually fell asleep listening to one of her videos about like money manifestation. And this morning, it was funny, we got a check in the mail. I was like, that's never happened. I would just sleep listening to money manifestation and woke up and had a $200 check in the mail. Law of attraction.
Yes, that's so good. That course that we did, Katie, with like, I've talked to my team so much. Katie did the
Amanda Francis
Money Mentality Makeover course. We did that together, and I was having checks coming in the mail, and like, I never get money in the mail. Like, it was crazy what that does for me. So
you always get money in the mail, Kaylin. Always get money in the mail.
There we go. There, yes. But yeah, self-development is so important, and I'm not a reader either. I would like to tell you all that I am a reader in hopes that you'll go read a book too, but it's okay. I'm not. But I listen to Audible. I also love YouTube. I have been waking up super early for like a few weeks now. I love waking up early, and I've been listening to Tony Robbins and Gary Vee every day. That's like how I start my day. And podcasts, like you just gotta switch it up and just find things that are just speaking to you, and remember how important it is. Like once you start doing that, you're gonna feel so good. And like 2019 was a year for growth. Like every single person in this company that's been around for a year or 10 years will tell you that this, like everybody got into personal development more this year than ever before. We all have grown so much, and we are so ready for what's to come this next year. Like it's going to be crazy. So, and any of my friends like that I've messaged over the last little while just to check in about how things are going and what's coming, like every single person is like 2020, like it's going to be insane. Are you ready? I'm promoting on this day. Like we're all getting fired up and getting excited. So trying to think what I want to ask you next. Okay, why don't we just continue with what we're talking about right now, and you can tell us like what should we be doing right now to get us ready for what's to come. Yeah, just kind of go off of that.
So I was actually talking to like some of my leaders about this the other day, and I feel like, you know, a lot of them, I've heard that their team has kind of not been working as hard because they're getting tons of no's. And I'm going to tell you, when January, February, March comes around, you're going to see two different groups of people. You're going to see the group that's all excited and promoting or about to promote, and they're pumped. And you're going to see the other group who's like, me, why am I not promoting? Sad story. Okay, those are the two groups you're going to see. And the group that's going to be promoting and super excited, they're the ones right now that are planting 1,000,001 seeds. They know that, okay, it's December. It might be a little bit harder because people are doing Christmas, but does that stop them from planting 1,000,000,000 seeds? No. Like they're going to plant as many as possible. So in January and February, March, they can harvest more plants than anyone, right? And so I think it's so important that, like, although you feel like you might be getting more no's now, like go for the no's, because those people are going to like watch you. Those people are going to see your posts now because you've been in their inbox. And what I will say is, I have a girl that just went diamond on my team a couple months ago. She just joined, I'm trying to think, I said a couple months ago, she joined in February, but she's a diamond pushing for double. And y'all, she is one of those people who is like rock star on fire. But she told me no for months and months and months and months. And finally she just reached out to me and signed up. So like, think if you got those no's tomorrow for that person who's going to be your next diamond. Like, but if you're too scared because, oh, I don't want to ask people because they're probably broke because of Christmas, then you're not going to get that no that eventually leads to that diamond next rock star, you know? So like, I always say go for the no's. If you get 100 no's a day, I will clap. I will applaud for you. I will be excited for you. And one thing that always sticks with me too, Susan Wade said this, and she said she does not count her success as like enrollments. Her success is based off of her potentials she's like made that day. And so just remember that, like, you might get 1,000,000 no's in one day, but don't take that to heart. Don't think there's anything wrong with the business or there's anything wrong with you. Like, it's just not that person's time. And being in 3 years, like, Kim is not the only person who has told me no and then joined my team, you guys. Like, I can probably easily say 40 to 50% of people who join my team have told me no. Or same thing with customers. Like, guys, people I've cold messaged, you know, to see if they want to be a product tester, might have told me no. Probably a lot of them, to be honest, probably more than that statistic I just gave you. But what's neat is I got in their inbox, I created that relationship, and now when I post a before and after on wraps, they see my stuff. Well, they're like, okay, Katie, I'm ready for them wraps. I'm going on vacation. You got me. But, you know, like, you have to get in their inbox to create that, and just make sure that you're watering it too. Like, you're the one checking in with them. You're being consistent on your follow-ups. You're creating that relationship, commenting on their stuff, just being super genuine, you guys. You cannot get to the top of this company not caring about people. I'm super yellow, so I'll preach on that all day. But just genuinely care about people, but they need to remember you, because in January, February, and March, they will have a goal. And what are the two goals that most people have at the beginning of every year? To lose weight, or to get healthy, and to make money. We have the solution for both of those. So my advice to you right now is to be so bold. Be bold about your story. If you don't have a story, talk about where you're going. When I started out, I was going diamond. I didn't have a story, but I knew what I wanted. I knew where I was going. And people like to follow someone who knows where they're going. So be bold right now. Be so bold about your story. Don't be scared to get people's inboxes. Go for the no's. Count how many no's you get every day. And like every time you get a no, like cheer for yourself, make it lighthearted. Like that's another seed planted, So yeah, that would be my biggest tip right now. Just being super consistent, following up. But that's the things that I'm doing because I know I'm trying to decide if I'm going to promote in February or March. I feel like because I promoted February last year, I just feel like I need to go February again. So I want all of y'all to promote. I want Caitlin to message me and be like, girl, I had so many people promote January and February because they were so consistent. They were planting all the seeds. They were loving people and they were having fun. So that's what you need to be doing.
That's good. And you were just saying something that made me think too, like shouting at your promotion. If I look back at like the months when I enrolled more distributors than any other month, it's because I was pushing to promote. Like last year when I was pushing to go triple, I made a post about that like every other day. I would talk about going triple. I'd talk about the paycheck that I was going to make with that promotion, what that was going to do for me personally. I would talk about the bonus that was attached to it. Like it was a $35,000 bonus because I wasn't double promoting. I don't know why the bonus is so big, but $35,000 bonus if I went triple last year. And every single time I shouted that out and I kind of showed the money and what I was going towards. Distributor. Like I literally enrolled 15 distributors for 3 months in a row at the start of this year. So do not be afraid to shout out where you're headed. This is the time to just plant as many seeds as you possibly can. And I'm currently listening to the Go for No book on Audible. I'm obsessed with it. And they say like, don't go to bed unless you hear 20 no's.
Ooh, that's good.
Like manifesting no's, but like when you get that no, be like, yes, that's one more I can write on my list. And like eventually you're going to have that just happy feeling because you know that the more you hear, the closer you're getting to a yes. So that's so good. I think we're on the same page there. And then come January, conference is coming. So like everybody on here has heard me talk about conference. A lot of us have our tickets and are ready to go, but a few of us don't. So like what has conference done for you? Why do you stress to your team how important it is to go and like, yeah, just share your stuff there.
Yeah. So whenever I first joined It Works, like I couldn't go to the first conference, and I think it was because I was on bed rest. And so I was like super bummed about it. And when everybody came back, guys, like I was like, who are these people? It's like they went into conference and they drank some silly juice and they came out like crazy as hell. I'm like, y'all need to calm down. Y'all are scaring me. But they were all like, we're going to promote, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I'm like, whoo, like calm down. But what's super amazing is literally almost everyone that I knew that went to conference left conference and freaking promoted. And I remember sitting there and I was like, dude, I'm never missing conference. I'm not going to miss conference. And so I ended up going to conference, my first conference as a diamond. And literally a couple months later, I don't even think it was like 3 months later, I went double. I went to conference this past year as a double and I went triple. Okay. Like there's statistics. I wish I knew. I wish I had them wrote out. But like Mark and everybody, I don't even know, everybody's been talking about like the statistics. Like if you go to conference, you're this much more likely to promote than someone who's not. If you go to conference, you're this much more likely to make this amount of income 10 times higher than someone who doesn't. Like obviously there's some secret juju that going to conference will give you if you go. And I think for me, when I went the first time, like I just felt a part of something. And I wish I could go more into my backstory. I wish I had a lot to tell you all about my story, but like I just grew up in a really tough life, you guys. I was very isolated. My dad was very physically abusive to my mother. Life was tough. I couldn't have friends over because my dad was so crazy. I'd never felt included in anything. I didn't feel like I had a friend group. Like there were the cute popular girls and I was broke and depressed. Like I was pregnant at 15. Like it was tough. Okay. And I don't know, when I came to this company and I remember going to conference and I just felt a part of something. Everyone was so positive. Everyone you're around wants to better themselves. When is the last time you can say that? if y'all have a full-time job, can you say that everybody wants to better themselves there? No. 90% of jobs I know, the people are there doing their bare minimum to get the heck out of there. You know what I mean? But when you're at conference and you're surrounded by that kind of energy, you have no choice to let it flow in, okay? And then you see these people who walk on stage on the top 150. This is another big aha moment for me on my first conference. You see all these different people being called in the top 150. And y'all, there's short people, there's tall people, there's really big people, there's really skinny people, there's black people, there's white people, there's Asian, there's people who are over 60 years old on top 150. And then there were people as young as 19, okay? And for me, when I was watching all these people, I'm like, there's no mold. You can be whoever the hell you want and get on that stage. All you have to do is show up. All you have to do is work your ass off. Like, that's all it is. Like, that's all they did, and that's all you have to do. And another thing that was said, and I don't know if I heard this right, so yeah, if I'm wrong, you can tell them later. But I'm pretty sure that someone who went to Costa Rica this year was a Ruby last year. And this year she was in the top 20 at Costa Rica. So I want y'all to think about how much a year can change everything, but you getting your butt to conference is what's going to light the fire. And I know that because I've been there twice, and I know that because I missed one and everybody else promoted and I didn't. So get your ass to conference. You're going to build amazing friendships. I think maybe I met Caitlin first at a conference. No, maybe at retreat, but you get to meet Sathon sisters. You get to, I don't know, like, it's just amazing, you guys. That's where some of my fondest memories have ever been made. I have been so pumped up. I've had so many aha moments. It literally just changes your business. I don't know how many times y'all have heard that already. If you've heard that, raise your hand. That conference changes your business. Okay, so everybody's face that I can see. Who's going to conference? Raise your hand. Okay, say that. Jenna, Ashley. Okay, this is me not calling you out, but this is me calling you out. Like, if you're serious about this business, get $200 something. Like, I know that seems like a lot. You can donate plasma. You can sell some stuff around the house. You can ask people for Christmas presents as money to get you to conference. If you're serious about this, if you really, really want to make money, I'm telling you, that's the ticket. That's the ticket to the yellow brick road to get you there, okay? And like I said, I know because I missed it and I've been there. And when I've been there, I promote it. When I've been there, amazing things have happened. So I definitely obviously want y'all to promote, and I want y'all to have those experiences, but it starts with getting there. If you don't have the money for stay, guys, literally, you can get an Airbnb for $40 a night. I know that because I booked one for a girl. And you can get 5 people in there and pay $20 a night. You can bring peanut butter and jelly and bread. And literally, I just saw that. When you get triple diamond and above, you're put in a VIP page. And they were sharing stories about how when they were broke, what they did at conference. One girl said, me and my husband literally ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, sorry, not breakfast. She said breakfast was included in their hotel, which they've shared with like a bajillion people, and they brought air mattresses. But they ate peanut butter and jellies every other time because they knew it was going to change their life. That's an investment in yourself. So that's it. That's almost I love y'all, and I hope I get to see y'all, Jenna, Ashley, and Sydney. I can't see anyone else's face, so.
Yes, there's more coming too. It's going to be a good year for us. Like, Jenna literally just joined right after all the big hustle and bustle for conference. Like, everybody got their tickets. My cat is doing his thing.
My life. It's okay.
Everybody got their tickets, and then she joined. So we were talking about it the other day, and she's thinking about it. She's going to come. I think she's going to come.
I literally just had a girl join not even 2 weeks ago, and she just bought her conference ticket because I've just been pumping her up. I'm like, girl, all right. Because I asked her when she joined, I was like, what kind of money you want to make? And she told me she was wanting to quit her job. Like, she wants to make a lot of money. I said, okay, girl, you need to get to conference. She's like, what's conference? I told her, and she was like, eh. I'm like, girl, you really want to make that kind of money? Go to conference. And so now she's going to conference. So I'm telling you, the investment's worth it. We don't get anything by you going to conference. Like, there's no reason we would push it on anyone, like, because we don't get paid for you guys going to conference. Like, that would be cool, right? But we don't. The reason we push it is because amazing, amazing things happen at conference. And the only way you'll be able to experience is if you're there, especially with no live stream this year. No live stream. So got to get there.
And in my first year, like, I was literally in tears. I cried the whole time. Like, happy tears. It was like, I want that life. Like, I need to get to where they are. I told Morgan Martin this before, so if she comes on here and sees it, it'll be fine. But so sees the recording. But I remember like Morgan was one of the people that I looked up to for so long. And I heard her talk on stage at a conference and I was crying and I was videotaping it. And then literally like probably 10, 15 minutes later, one of my girls that was on my team was sitting beside me and she said, Caitlin, look in front of you. And it was Morgan. And she was sitting right in front of me with her team. And you guys, it was like she was a celebrity. And I was like, oh my God. And I took a picture of like my leg here and her back in front of me. And I just was like showing how close I was to her. And it seems so crazy because we're good friends and we talk all the time now. But like these people that you watch on YouTube or you watch on these trainings all the time, like Katie, you're going to get to meet her and you get to go and you see like, okay, this person is a millionaire, but they're the most humble person you're ever going to talk to in your life. And like, you would not know that they have as much success as they do because they are no different than you. And like, you can talk to anybody that goes up on that stage and they will make time for you. Literally last year, my girls just like scattered and they're like, I got a picture with Ashley Mayfield. I got a picture with like Morgan. I got a picture with Susan Wade. Like they just, and like when we got together as our team, like we got a bunch of pictures with Katie and like everybody in our downline. Like it's just so fun. And it just makes you realize like, you know what, all the things that I worked so hard for, all the things that I'm dreaming for, like I can do it. And I am no different than any of these people. And it just lights your fire and you meet Mark Pentecost and you just go home and you're like, you get to work. You want to work harder than you ever have in your life. And I took so many videos and I came home and like I showed Juan all the videos. And like even he was like, okay, what can I do to help you?
Oh.
Like how do you find it was taking Brandon with you? Like Katie took her husband.
Oh, he goes to every event with me. He doesn't miss an event. And I don't make him do that. Like it's funny because like when I told y'all my story, like he told me it's a pyramid scheme. But y'all, like he loves his company so much. He uses all of our products. He's a skincare junkie. He loves our skincare. And like if he knows there's an event, like I don't even ask him. Like we just book the tickets because I know he's going to go. And like, I don't know, like it's just funny to see his change of heart. And that just shows what we have. For someone who was so skeptical, which for me, I wasn't skeptical. I didn't know anything about network marketing or pyramid schemes. I just knew I had to try it. But like he's super green, number one. He knew the comp plan before I knew the comp plan. He knows the ingredients better than I do. He knows the products better than I do. 100% so green. Okay. So it's just, it makes me 100% sure that this company is super amazing because he was so skeptical. And you guys, like now he loves this company. And he like you said, Juan, he's always asking me, how can he help me? But for me, it's like, just get in my way. Let me get this. But like
he understands why you work so hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just so much easier when you have that communication with your other half and you're on the same page. Like I'm just kind of talking about this a little bit because Jenna's thinking about going with her boyfriend. And I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't already have a room with my girls this year, I would bring Juan because he can come. And I've already talked to him about it. But
oh, my team already knows, like this year we do have a place by ourselves and it's the first year that we've done that. And that's just because we have a baby now and we like kind of want just on one time. But every conference, every event, like it's me, Brandon, and my girls. Like they know he's there. He's like Daddy Brandon.
We all know him. We love him. Like he stayed with us where were we?
Oh yeah.
Like
green carpet.
He's just
yeah, it was him plus like 12 girls, y'all. I'm not kidding. Like, and here's Brandon. But I mean, he just loves the company and like you just get to meet amazing people and like he's friends with these people too. And like he likes to have a good time. So he usually does with the Bill Johan girls. He's out there booty dancing. I'm shy and reserved and he's out there being crazy. But it's just fun. I think he'd love it. And it's a fun vacation. Do it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for all of that. And I really, really appreciate it. I recorded it, so I can't wait to go back and watch the replay. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great night. If you have any questions after this, you can put them in the chat and I can either answer them or pass them along to Katie. But conference is coming, a brand new year. I'm so freaking excited. Make sure you're putting in the work now so that you're not going to be behind when everything starts to happen. But yeah, thank you and bye, guys.